Hello everyone, thanks for joining us here on Horizon. I'm Rob McClendon. Well, to make your living from the land, you have to be a bit of a risk taker. Not only do farmers and ranchers face the same market trends and global competition that other industries do, they also must contend with the weather and an ever-changing climate. Today, we're going to meet 4 different Oklahomans who all share a common trait: that ability to step out and be a trailblazer. The late Floyd King has been called the father of the Oklahoma peanut industry. Through his honest, soft-spoken demeanor, combined with iron determination and a unique sense of vision, he brought prominence to a previously minor Oklahoma crop and gave farm families an opportunity to pursue a better life, as remembered by his grandson, Garrett King.
The Oakdale Missionary Baptist Church was founded in that eventful year of Oklahoma statehood, 1907. Under territorial and earliest state policy, schools had to be within a set number of miles from farms. And Floyd, as well as most of his siblings, attended that one-room schoolhouse at Oakdale, and church services were held there. And Oakdale very much was at the heart of Grandpa's life. Floyd served his country in the Second World War. He was in the European theater, where he earned the Bronze Star. When Grandpa came home from the war, he made what many at the time would have thought was an insane promise. He said, "I'll irrigate or I won't farm." And in that day and age, for a young man to raise his family in northern Caddo County and not farm, I don't know what he would have done. He began seeking financing, and there was no financing to be had. He went to the Department of Agriculture, and there was no funding for irrigation projects in our part of the United States, although it existed in other parts of the United States. And so he began an aggressive correspondence with United States Senator Bob Kerr. And eventually the senator's office told Grandpa, "You know what, go back to the Farm Home Administration and see if you can get a loan for financing on this, and you let me know if it doesn't work this time." Well, Grandpa walked out of there with a loan to finance a well that he had drilled in 1951. Halfway into the field, the driller got stuck because the sand was so thick. Grandpa and the driller had to go and get help from 2 neighbor gentlemen. And when they asked Floyd what he was doing, and he told them he was drilling a well to irrigate peanuts, they said, "You're crazy. That water will seep right through that sandy soil. It'll do no good." I believe that of those 2 gentlemen who called him crazy, 2 years later, one bought an irrigation system from my grandfather, and I believe the salesman he bought it from was the other gentleman who had been there, who was now employed by my grandfather. At that point, Caddo County was not mentioned in the annual legumes publication of the Census of Agriculture. By 1990, Caddo County, Oklahoma was the #1 peanut producing county in the United States. He was very, very cognizant of the fact that if we didn't all hang together, we'd all hang separately. He founded the Caddo County Area Peanut Growers Association. He goes on to help found the Southwest Oklahoma Peanut Growers Association, the Oklahoma Peanut Commission. He was first president of those organizations, and then first president of the National Peanut Growers Group, which became the National Peanut Board. And he was always there, and that was because he always kept focused like a laser on the well-being of the farm families that grew the peanuts, and the well-being of the communities that nurtured them. During the great debates about freedom to farm, during the even greater and more significant debate in 2002 over abolition of the quota system, I came to realize how tremendously people in our part of the world looked to my grandpa for leadership. And at that time, he was already an octogenarian. They still knew Floyd understands these issues. Floyd has our best interests at heart, and Floyd will give us the information on how to navigate it. He was supported in all things by the daughter of some very humble farmers, my grandmother, Lola, who was a very sweet lady. Her decline into illness marked the end of his public life. My grandmother died in 1998. Peanut quota was repealed in 2002. I don't think the two are unrelated. He loved peanut farming, and he loved the American peanut farmer. Beyond the glitz and glamour of public life, beyond his substantial business interests and accomplishments, Floyd King was a devoted family man and a devoted father, husband, grandfather, great-grandfather, and a devoted member of Oakdale Missionary Baptist Church. And that's all he would care anyone to know about him.
Now, when we return, living a life of conservation.